I've taken note of the recent support given to the motion presented in the second chamber of the Dutch Parliament to start a dialogue with the government of St. Martin to see if the Netherlands should take over management of law enforcement on our island. In light of the caretaker status of the current government, it is not likely that this proposed dialogue will be met with the anticipated interim government. Personally, though, I encourage the leaders of St. Martin to think and act in accordance with and in the interest of St. Martin and her people. We are a young nation, and as part of our growth and development, we are willing to accept assistance from more experienced partners and countries in several areas, including law enforcement. However, I'm firmly against any action that may infringe on the rights of the St. Martin people. No consideration should be given to measures that would remove the authority and management of our local services from the hands of St. Martiners to be placed under the control of others. Partners within the kingdom who are truly seeking the interest of St. Martin and her people will offer their support without seeking control. In a recent media publication, the President of Parliament, MP William Marlin, queried whether the Council of Ministers voted on former Prime Minister Leona Marlin representing the island as a private citizen, unquote, at a function being held at the World Bank. I immediately responded via press release as several media houses reached out for clarification. Last evening, I received the MP's official request for answers on this subject via the Secretariat of Parliament. I will be sending the MP a direct response to his questions. However, I would like to quickly set the record clear for the general public so that information is factual and not misconstrued in any manner or, as the MP stated, assumed in any fashion as well. The facts are, former Prime Minister Leona Marlin was invited to 2 conferences in Dominica in mid-October, one on disaster management and the other on addressing transparency standards in the Caribbean. The other conference that the former MP was invited to was the Nexus Europe Summit in the Netherlands on November 16th. Both the October conferences as well as the November summit would be covered by the organizations that invited the former PM, and a part would have been covered by the former PM herself. This meant that St. Martin in no way, directly or indirectly, would have paid for this trip. At the time, we were aware of the caretaker status of the Council of Ministers and saw her attending the various events as no issue in terms of her status as caretaker Prime Minister. So on October 8th, the Council voted against then PM Romeo Marlin's request for her resignation to be effected, and a decision was taken to allow her to attend the October and the November conferences. It should be understood that any active minister must have the approval of the Council of Ministers for travel and engagements that reflect on the role of the government. However, 2 days later, on October 10th, 2019, the Prime Minister Romeo Marlin made another request for her release from the duties as Prime Minister and Minister of General Affairs. And given her reasons, the decision was taken by the Council of Ministers to accept the resignations of both then Prime Minister Marlin Romeo and then Minister of Justice De Wever. This decision was based on their request to leave immediately to prevent further political turmoil. As a result of their release from ministerial duties, the approval granted by the Council of Ministers to Mrs. Romeo Marlin will be retracted. This was noted last week. However, due to the travel of Minister Geerlings, we will be voting in the next Council of Ministers to retract this decision. The retraction is based on the fact that now that Mrs. Romeo Marlin is no longer Prime Minister, she has returned to her duties as a civil servant and not just as, quote unquote, a private citizen, as stated by MP Marlin. With her returning to this status, the procedure for requests to travel for the conference is now different. As a civil servant, she is now required to request days not from the Council of Ministers, but rather from the Secretary General of the Ministry of General Affairs. I have been in touch with Mrs. Romeo Marlin concerning this matter. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Romeo Marlin, former Prime Minister, for her dedicated service to this country as Prime Minister, and wish her the very best as she moves on. In the same breath, let me also say thank you to former Minister Mr. Van Hugh Cornelius de Wever for his faithful service as Minister of Justice to the country of St. Martin. I also extend best wishes to you as you move on.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
You deserve it. My hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. Sing it, everyone. Sing it. Let me hear you from the bottom of our hearts. My hallelujah belongs to you. Oh, my hallelujah. My hallelujah belongs to you. Belongs to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve.
Upcoming Thursday, October 17th, I will have the pleasure to host a number of NGOs, stakeholders, foundations, associations, and various groups that are involved in environmental awareness, cleanup initiatives, and recycling. This is very important meeting. In this very important meeting, we'll focus on the upcoming cleanup and recycling campaign of the Ministry of Romi. We have issued a general invitation to all of these groups and stakeholders because we believe it is essential that they are involved and share ideas to ensure that the campaign will be a successful one. The meeting will be held in Conference Room 1 on the first floor of the Government Administration Building. It will be held from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m. this Thursday, October 17. Any environmental involved group willing to attend this meeting should email vromissxm@gmail.com. So that's vromissxm@gmail.com to confirm their attendance. Next, we are also preparing a slogan competition. So in this same context, the cleanup and recycling campaign will also be in need of a slogan. We can all remember the Take Pride, Don't Throw It Outside of a few years ago. To this day, we remember that campaign largely due to its slogan. A slogan makes the campaign memorable, so a call has been put out to the general public to help us find a slogan for the campaign. Persons of all ages can submit their slogan ideas between October 15th and October 28th. You may do so via the same email address, romissxm@gmail.com, or by sending a WhatsApp message to 1-721-520-7668. Lastly, finally, I am sure you might have read already, and on Tuesday, I had to dispel a false narrative that was being painted in the public, spreading wrong information about a civil servant under the Ministry of Romi being either fired, dismissed, or demoted. All lies. It was all misinformation and only for political spinning in this political climate that we are in. Something that happens on a regular basis within the government organization. Confidential between government and civil servant. All of a sudden became a public debate because of a political taint that was placed upon it. This is the only reason I thought it necessary to clarify the situation before it continued to live a life of its own. I will not discuss confidential issues between government and individual civil servants in the public domain, and I hope the explanation provided on Tuesday and once again in today's local paper about the issue that was circulating was clear to the public.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
So I'm one of the nurses of the ambulance team. We are with 4 nurses. The ambulance team works mainly outside on the road. We do home visits, whereby we visit clients at home to administer medication, do the follow-up, counseling, whatever.
Eddie, where are you? Come now. Morning, how are you doing?
Not too bad.
Good. Easy going, man. What about you?
A little anxious these days.
How come? What happened?
I think somebody's trying to kill me.
Okay, you taking your medication?
Yeah.
So, where's your pillbox?
In the house.
You going to get it for me?
Yeah.
The most rewarding aspect for me is the appreciation that I get from clients and family. Yes, we know we would all want a big salary, but that is what counts for me. Well, what I would like the community to know about mental health in general is that it's not a stigma. I noticed on St. Martin that they talk about somebody's crazy. It's not somebody's crazy because a mental illness can be drugs, alcohol induced. It can be a trauma after disaster, which we saw, for example, after Irma. So it can have different reasons. It's not that when you see somebody is behaving different or strange that you say the person is crazy. And besides that, somebody can be treated.
Thank you. Take care.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Jose Helga and I play basketball. I have organized basketball events in St. Martin. Sport matters to me because it makes everybody come together in unity. So I challenge the businesses community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facility. I'm also asking the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take on the challenge and step up for sport because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sports SXM Facebook page for more information. Hashtag Sport Matter, hashtag Are You In?
Honorable Chair, do you, through you, Minister, do you believe that? Do you believe that now St. Martin has a strong position and that we are strengthened by the IMF? That St. Martin can strongly and boldly say, listen, Kingdom Partners, the CFD is not working for us. And we need to come to the table and sit down and say, listen, based on the statements made by the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, a large and worldwide financial institution. So in other words, the CFT with midgets in comparison. It's like a turtle standing next to an elephant in terms of its opinion on the world market. So if the IMF speak, countries would listen. If CFT speak, no one knows who they are on the world market or on the world stage. Would you agree with that statement, Honorable Minister, that St. Martin's position is strengthened, or we stand in a position of strength now because of the remarks made by the IMF? It goes on to say, it is time we need to enter into discussion about the kind of financial management. The kingdom law has been evaluated, but even in the law itself, there are conditions in terms of the termination of that law. That's a powerful statement, Honorable Chair. It's a powerful statement. It means, and I stand to be corrected by the author of the article, is that St. Martin is sitting back and we need to get with the times in terms of what the law is now, the evaluation of the law now, and how in whatever fashion, style, or position, it can boost or advance or help St. Martin. That's what I read from it, but I stand to be corrected on that from the author of the article. If we can't comply with the very same law, this type of supervision will not be terminated, Westcott Williams said. This working of the law gives us even more material to have a serious discussion. This is what I'm saying. Are we simply sitting back when there's provisions in the law that has been evaluated to have a serious discussion concerning the role of the CFT, Honorable Minister? Are we simply sitting back? And if you're privy to information concerning the evaluation of the law, can you give a few details in terms of what evaluation has been taken concerning the law? And in the last paragraph, the article goes on to say, another aspect that must be tackled is the unilateral discussions by the kingdom government that can be taken regarding any of the countries within the Dutch kingdom. The author said, nowhere is there a possibility to table a disagreement, especially on the imposition of unilateral decisions of the Kingdom Council. The author goes on to say, she calls on fellow MPs and factions in Parliament to make a proposal for the matter to be handled. We'll also look into tabling the matter. In her role as Parliament Chairman, I think it is extremely important and that we don't want to wait too long. And I agree. I agree with this article. Honorable Minister, I would like to know, honestly, through you, Chair, what is the position of the Minister concerning the stiff jacket? Or does he believe that the CFT has St. Martin in a stiff jacket, meaning you can't move, you're tied down, you can't move? And if the minister agree with that position, I would also like to know, in his opinion, what he thinks should be a way moving forward. I thank you very much.
Based on the request from our lawyer, Mr. Cormerks, he is looking into this issue with the St. Martin Medical Center that has been charging people based on 41.8% increase. Tariffs that were at that moment still not legally prepared or legally stipulated. The date that the decree arrived was in November, and the lawyer is asking everybody that had one way or the other experienced a drawback because of this increase that was announced and was stipulated only in November. So all the people that before that have had to pay an increased tariff at a medical center, and where one way or the other, directly or indirectly, have experienced damages, they can contact us, and with the lawyer, Cormerks, we will look into their case also to present this in court. Second announcement has to do with people that might have had problems with GEBE damaging their appliances at home because of irregularities in the electricity production and distribution. If that is the case, also these people can address themselves to the consumer lawyer, as he calls himself, Mr. Cormerks, because with a simple letter he already can address these issues with GEBE on your behalf. And the last announcement has to do, of course, with the fact that we have this affordable health, fruits and vegetables program for you, that people also have to start to ask more questions about how to go about their health conditions. because we have knowledgeable volunteers assisting us at a health fair that have knowledge about health benefits of the fruits and the vegetables, and also some of them that have experience in how you can prepare very nutritious meals with the produce that we have brought for you. So just identify your question that you might have, and we will make sure that you all can get the right person to provide you with additional information. As we said already, especially for the 19th, that is not this Saturday, but next week Saturday, that will be a day. On that day we don't sell the produce, because then the container will be finished already, but we will have a special day where these kind of issues, health related, what about my condition, this family member, can I get a check, that these kind of conditions will be addressed, can be addressed, and that you can leave with some more information and education on how to go about with your health condition. If it is a condition that can be improved, then the plus is that you will be getting how with your nutrition and diet, but also with your lifestyle, you can improve your health condition. And secondly, also the possibility for you to get from the stakeholders that we have with us in that program the opportunity to get follow-up advice and follow-up sessions. This is a very nice opportunity, so you are not only then limited to come to the Wi-Fi building to get this information, but you can also make arrangements for follow-up advice, for follow-up consultations, so that you can be better informed and that you can address your own health in a better and proper way.